I read 290 pages of the Future of Jobs Report 2025 so that you don't have to, and I can be able to tell you what are the best skills you're supposed to have, or the best skills that you're supposed to collect within the year 2025, so that you can always be in demand in whichever career or whichever industry you're working in. That is why in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about the best skills or the best high income skills that you can start thinking about acquiring if you do not have them yet, or how you can strategically use them if you have them, but you honestly don't know where to apply them. 35% of the jobs that we actually have in this day and age are going to be scrapped out by AI. It means that a lot of the redundant jobs that used to give people opportunities or laziness in the corporate space are now being phased out because AI can do that better, faster, and backed with more data. So how exactly are you going to be the person who is going to position themselves as the right candidate for whichever role you are looking for? And by the way, if you don't believe me, I will attach a link to the World Economic Forum, the Future of Jobs Report 2025, just in case you want to go through it in your own time and see if what I'm saying is actually true. Before we even talk about the career skills, we need to talk about what is happening in the corporate space. I was fortunate enough that last year I was contracted by a startup company to recruit for them tech talent, and therefore I was able to understand what exactly recruiters look for when they're hiring. Now, first of all, before you even think about the high income skills that you're gonna learn, first of all, you need to assess, are you ready to actually acquire these skills? Are you ready to actually sacrifice time and money in order for you to acquire these skills? And how willing are you to be able to leave the current role you're in, whether it's the title you've fallen in love with or the job that you're actually doing? Are you in a position whereby you're gonna sit yourself down, give yourself a pep talk, and actually acquire the skills that are gonna make you a permanent and an important figure in the corporate space that you're in right now? Now, for the first skill in our list, definitely it is strategic communication. And strategic communication is just not any other form of communication. It's you being able to understand which situation you're in and communicating the right way to the right people about the right things. That is why it's called strategic communication. If you're someone who is in tech, communication is not our best suit, but you can be able to actually structure your communication or use your communication skills to ensure that you strategically communicate the value that you have. For example, if I was trying to communicate about my skills in data intelligence and I was getting into a startup company, chances are they're struggling with sales, they're struggling with internal communication, and they're also struggling with team collaborations. So how can you be able to structure your data intelligence in a communication style that is actually going to be beneficial to this particular business? The second high income skill that you can think about or you can start trying to acquire is strategic intelligence. And by strategic intelligence, I mean whether you're working with data or not, you need to get to a point where every decision that you're making is actually backed by a strategy. Strategic intelligence is a situation whereby whatever you are doing, there is an action plan, and that action plan is actually completed to the T for the benefit and success of this particular business. Because I'm gonna steal for you a business secret. Anyone who gets hired in any company, you are just a number, not unless you are actually bringing value to any company you're in. So you need to think about strategic intelligence in such a way that how can it benefit the company? How can your skill set benefit a company, right? So you need to implement a strategy. For example, if they're having a marketing campaign, how can you strategically use the skill set that is required for your specific position to improve, or rather to ensure that that particular marketing project is a success. So if they're trying to gain more awareness, or if they're trying to build more awareness, and you are actually skilled in project management, you can be able to implement a strategic project plan that the marketing team can use to be able to maximize the return of investment that they're going to have when they implement the particular strategy or particular marketing plan that they have. The next skill set is something you've probably heard a lot, and that is data-driven decision making. Whether you are in finance or you are a customer service representative, you need to be making decisions that are backed by data. That means you need to implement a plan of how you are going to collect relevant data that is going to be beneficial to you on how you make decisions with regards to what you do. Now, I'm going to give you a strategy that I've personally used every single time I've been an employee to be able to collect data and make data-driven decisions. So you need a tracking tool, or rather a data collection tool. For me, I relied heavily on Google Sheets, but you can use any other platform of your choice. You can decide to use your Notes app. You can decide to also use Excel sheets, whichever platform works for you, as long as you're able to collect data. The second thing that I would advise you do is to actually look or filter what people are saying. So if you are, let me use the example of a customer service representative. If a lot of the clients who are calling you up as the customer support assistant or customer support specialist, if they are really complaining about a lot of their calls getting ignored, or a lot of the customer service representatives are rude, then you are going to be the exception, because if you are able to collect like complaints from 50 people and they're complaining about, say for example, the customer service representatives are rude, you are going to make a decision that is backed by data, and you're not going to be rude. And due to the fact that you are making data-driven decisions, whatever action you take in that specific role you're in is going to make you an invaluable member of the company, because you're helping them maintain more clients with what you're doing. And then the next high income skill that I have for you is data-driven or consumer-driven marketing. A lot of us do not know this, but a lot of consumers change the way they consume content. For example, back in the day, influencer based marketing really worked really well for consumers, but right now a lot of consumers are shifting towards value driven products or value driven marketing. So now, as the person who is, you might not even be in the marketing industry, but if you're able to understand, if you're a creator or if you're a creative person or you're trying to build a brand, if you are marketing in a value-based way using consumer insights, chances are you're going to be invaluable. How? Let me explain. Now, for consumer-based marketing, this is not just any type of marketing. This is marketing with brains, because what you're going to do is you are going to observe what people are saying about marketing. What are the complaints that people are having about marketing? And you are going to ensure that whatever piece of value or whatever piece of anything you're selling is backed by consumer preferences. If you're a creator and you're building a brand and you're using social media to do it, you might have noticed that a lot of people do not watch PR packages kind of information. A lot of people watch PR packages out of excitement. They don't watch it out of trying to buy the product. So you can come as a different creator by trying to understand, okay, fine, if I do get a PR package, how can I be able to create a video that will make people not just watch for excitement, but also buy or consume whatever product or whatever PR or whatever company has sent me the PR. So the next high income skill that I have for you guys is AI implementation. Now, AI implementation is you understanding whichever industry you're in and then figuring out how AI can actually come in and play a role in that specific industry you're in. For example, I'm in the HR space right now, and I'm going to use that as the example. A lot of us do not know this, but for the people who are applying for remote roles and they're getting multiple rejections, that's because the HR system, or rather the HR industry, is using an application called an application tracking system, which has AI powered features in them. The first step of your interview process, I'm not gonna lie, it's being done by AI. So now, the HR space is actually using AI as a tool to be disqualifying or qualifying candidates based on what they're looking for as a hiring company. So you also need to understand, okay, in my specific industry, how can I utilize AI to make sure that I improve the space that I'm in? For example, if you're in the finance industry, where do you think AI can actually be used? Editing Gloria here, and I just realized that I did not finish up the video that I am currently editing. So this is the outro. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. If you've managed to gain something from this particular video and you feel like there's someone out there who needs to hear this, please don't hesitate to share it out. Also, while you're down there, if you found anything to be helpful, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel while you're down there, and I am so grateful for everyone who has watched until the end, and I am going to see you in the next one.